and we'll just start seated and connecting with our breath. So I'm gonna sit onto my blanket. You can sit on anything that supports your seat just to lift up a little bit. And then cross your legs, roll the shoulders a few times. Maybe let the eyes close if that feels good. Start taking some nice deep breaths in and out. And just whenever it feels good, reverse your shoulder circles or pause the movement, right? Just let it go, whatever feels nice for you here. And maybe just sighing the air out of the body, just allowing your body physically to land right where you are. In this space, in your room, whatever room it might be in your house. And so just with your awareness starting to internalize, we'll focus on that. But first, bring your awareness to just the sounds that you hear around you. The sounds of the house, the sounds outside of the house, maybe in the street, up in the trees, or out in the distance, right? Even try to bring your awareness to the most distant sounds that you can hear. And don't worry about your breath. If it feels good to keep circulating kind of deep, intentional breaths, do it. But just start to observe the furthest sound that you can hear. And then narrow your awareness. So start to bring your awareness to a sound that's closer, but still kind of in the distance. You may be able to identify it, or maybe not. Maybe it's car, right? Just name the thing versus trying to identify like if it's going up the hill, down the hill, or whatever. And then narrow your awareness even more so you are listening to a sound maybe that's inside of the room that you're in or inside of the house if you were previously outside with your awareness. And then if you're inside the house, now bring your awareness to a sound that's inside of the room that you're in. It could be the hum of the electronics. It could be the snoring of a dog. And then with kind of a little more intentional breaths, start to bring your awareness to the sound of your breath. And so maybe it's more of an external sound where you hear your breath kind of leaving your body. But then bring your awareness to your breath inside of your skull, to the sound of your breath inside of your skull. The most intimate sound that you can hear. And just start to keep your awareness there to that sound of your breath inside of your skull. And feel this sense of calm that's kind of washing over your body as you just have narrowed your awareness to be with yourself. And start to scan your internal landscape and maybe even trace your gentle breath coming in the body and releasing out of the body. And as you're focusing here on the sound of your breath inside of your body, just relax around the edges. Relax your eyes and your jaw, and your cheeks. And just get really still, get really heavy, and be really present with just the sound of your breath inside of your body. Maybe as you notice your mind wandering to other things, maybe experiences that have happened today or things that you're looking forward to later. Just name the thought, right? Just maybe it could even be thinking. And so then you are aware of that and you can bring your awareness then back to the sound of your breath in your body. And that's the practice. Just noticing, catching our thought as it wanders and does its dance from one thing to the other. And then purposely and intentionally catching the thought, noticing it like, oh, I'm thinking again. And then bring your awareness, redirect your awareness back to the sound of your breath inside of your body. I'll leave you here for just about a minute. Really, it's no time at all, but our mind can go in so many different directions in a minute. So just practice. Just redirect your thought process back to the sound of your breath inside of your body. And again, relax around the outer edges of the body, your eyes, your shoulders, your hips. Notice the sensations and how you are feeling in the body. It can be energetic or emotional. It can be more physical, right? Achy, tightness. And again, using the naming so that we can just name it and try to refrain from any sort of judgment. And if there is judgment there, just notice that. Like, oh, I'm judging that. And then move on. And in this quiet space and the sense of serene tranquility inside of the body, let's meet our palms gently together in front of our heart and drop your gaze down. So as we're here, just dive into your heart space and observe kind of what you need most in this moment, your deepest heart's desire. Right? What do you want? And then find an intention to support that. And I'll remind you of this intention throughout our practice. Let's release our hands down onto the lap. Lift your head back up, and you can flutter the eyes open, letting light in, but trying to refrain from identifying what you're seeing. Good. All right, let's release our hands down and then flip your palms up. Big breath in, big stretch up, look up. Exhale, arms all the way down, chin to your chest. And then 2 more times like that. Just stretching the side body, reaching up through the arms, finding breath, matching with the movement. 1 more time, inhale up. Exhale all the way down. Now keep your left hand there. Inhale your right arm up and just start to side bend. Spread your left fingers, root that left hand down, push into that hand, right hip's rooted, and we're breathing through that right side. Full breath, feel your heart lift forward in front of you. Exhale, squeeze your belly and keep reaching as you exhale. Good, take another big breath. As you exhale, lower your right hand down, drop it to the floor, walk your hands to the center here. Take a deep breath, lift your heart to the horizon, and then exhale, fold forward. Dropping your head, reaching your arms forward so you feel a little stretch through your armpits and the side body. And then as you inhale, try to suck the belly up into your chest. So you squeeze the belly in and pull it up into your heart. So you're elongating your spine with that, and then drop your head really heavy. And then cultivate that connection with breath. Do about 2 or 3 more kind of belly breaths like that. Pulling the belly in, pulling the breath into the heart, elongating the spine, melting as you exhale. Last one. And then slowly walk your hands in a little bit towards your body, but then over towards your right side. Plant that right hand down and then roll this left arm open. So you're opening up your chest to the front of the mat, palm is facing the floor. And then revisit the rooted right hand, pushing the left hip down here. Breathing from that rooted left hip up that whole left side, maybe looking up. Exhale fully and completely as you reach. Couple more really thoughtful, deep, intentional breaths. And then relax the facial muscles here, relax the shoulders, the muscles around the neck and jaw. And then with this exhale, take your time and then lower that left arm down, walk it out again towards the center. Take another full breath, rooting your hands, rooting your hips, but lifting the heart forward. Exhale, fold forward, heavy head. 1 deep breath in, pull the back breath into the belly, up into the chest. Exhale and fold. Now step your hands back towards your body. Let your head be the last thing to lift as you stack your spine. Roll the shoulders, swoop your arms up, big breath. Let's bend your left elbow, grab that elbow with your right hand. Pull that elbow behind your head and then lift your chin. Take a nice deep breath and then exhale, side bend over to your right. Another full breath. Lift your heart up in front of you. Exhale, squeeze those ribs together, side bend a little more. One more big breath. Push your head into that forearm. Exhale, leaning. And then inhale, lift and lengthen, both arms up. Exhale, bend the right elbow, grab that elbow, pull it back. Press the back of your skull into the forearm and then start to side bend. Keep the weight neutral on both hips here. So notice if you're really leaning into this left side, root that right hip down, breathe all the way up that right side, tilt slightly. And then inhale, both arms all the way up, beautiful. Exhale, release your hands, interlace behind your back, just one big clasp or big breath as you clasp. Inhale, lifting your hands as high away from the lower back as you can. And then as you exhale, bring your chin to your chest, squeeze your ribs, and then roll forward, lifting your hands away from that lower back. Feel your hands pull up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades a little more. One more breath in. Exhale, squeeze your navel in, fold a little more. And then inhale, come all the way up. Release your hands, swoop your arms to the sun, look up. Meet your palms, bring them to your heart center, and think about that intention. Take a nice deep breath into that. And then release your hands. All right, let's come to child's pose for a few breaths. So moving the blanket maybe under the knees if you want some extra padding there, Ashley. Otherwise, ditch the blanket, meet your big toes, and nest your hips down between your heels. So as you sit here, your heels move away from each other, and then feel that stretch all the way already through the back body, right? Your hips, your hamstring, your glutes, your low back. It may be super subtle, and that's fine, or maybe really intense, right? So wherever you're going, just bring your breath with you. Spread your fingers super wide, rest your forehead down, and just relax here for a few breaths. So forearms heavy, elbows heavy, forehead heavy. All right, and then we're gonna lift up, find your tabletop position, bring your knees in here. Right away, we're just gonna extend the right leg back, toes on the floor, and then press into your hands to push the heel back. Squeeze your belly in, so you're pulling the belly away from the floor. You're pressing away from your hands, so you're away from the floor here with your hands. And then bring your shoulders over the wrists, rotate that right heel to the floor, push the top of your left foot down, and then inhale this right arm all the way up. Nice deep round of breath. So you're gonna keep your balance here by really pushing through the top of that left foot. If at any point you feel really unbalanced, just swoop that left heel behind you and then push into the floor. Root the outer right heel down, feel the whole leg activate, engage your right glute, and feel that tailbone lengthen towards your heel. So again, the belly's pushing in against that lower back. Now, reach the right palm towards the front of the room or the mat and extend that arm forward. As you're doing that, push into your left hand and almost like you're creating an arch here on this whole left side body, or an arch really on the whole right side. Just feel that skin stretching. Reach actively. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, engage your core. Keep pushing into the floor. One more. Good. Pause here. Inhale that right arm up. Good. Now roll the shoulders back. Maybe look up, just changing the gaze here, and then look down. Maybe messing with a little bit of balance. Look up, pause. Good. Now we're going to come onto the inner arch of that right foot. Find your stability here. Your left hand maybe wants to come forward, so you have a little angle there. And then root through the top of that left foot. Lift the right. Bend that right knee, and then reach for your top of the right foot, squeezing your ankle into the glute. So you're going for a quad stretch here. Feel the kneecap on your right knee reach behind you like there's a string there. Good, and then feel that stretch. Nice deep breath into it. Soften your gaze, soften your gaze as you exhale, soften your jaw. Now we're gonna start to kick your foot into your hand. So allow a back bend here. Let your belly pop forward, let your heart pop forward, squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, even pull your head back here. Nice deep breaths. Let's do about 2 or 3 steady breaths, really kicking your foot into your hand, back bending. Couple more. Soften the gaze. One more breath. And then slowly release. Bring that ankle towards your glute and then release that foot. Straighten that leg. Reach your right arm forward. Drop the right foot down. Push that right hip up to the ceiling and then slowly lower your right hand to the floor. Find your tabletop, so on your knees and hands. Let's inhale for a cow pose. Drop your belly down. Separate those sit bones behind you. Even move your hips a little side to side, wagging your tail. Then focus on the arms. Inner elbows, those creases of your inner elbows rotate forward. Right, so see, you can see how my elbows hyperextend. It's funny. And then bend the elbows. Feel your hands almost trying to pull back, so that will help you literally peel your heart forward. Dropping the belly more, shoulders back, look up, reach to your chin. Keep breathing here. Oh, one more inhale. And then exhale, cat pose, round it out. Oh yeah, it feels good. Now, stay here, keep breathing here. Press into your hands, push into your knees and your tops of the feet. Squeeze that belly in even more, bring your chin all the way to your chest. Push your body weight forward slightly and then back slightly. Notice how that changes the stretch a little bit. Take another big breath in and out. And then inhale, cow pose. Drop the belly. Let's move with breath. Look up. Exhale, round the spine. So we're still moving with breath here. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. So inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round it out. Good, and then we'll meet in our tabletop. Now we can extend the left leg back. Toes on the floor, just push the heel back to feel a little stretch through your calf. Good, and then bring your weight forward. Maybe your right hand comes forward just a little bit already. Push into that right knee, top of the foot, and then swivel that left heel to the floor. Circle your left arm all the way up, side planking. Good, nice deep breath. Reach the left palm forward, extend it all the way. Beautiful. Now feel the outer left heel rooting, engage that whole leg, squeeze that left glute. Pull your tailbone towards the heel, maybe changing your gaze, careful with your neck. Steady, long breaths. Good, and then we're gonna lift this left arm up. Stay rooted in the right knee, lift this left leg, and then bend that left knee, reach for your foot. Pull the foot in to the glute, squeezing your ankle into the glute, reaching back through the left knee, roll the shoulders back, just breathe. Steady breath, steady body here. Good, a few more. And then we can start to kick. So kick that foot into your hand, allow the back bend, feel your belly and your heart kind of pop forward. Roll your shoulders back, pull the head back bend it here, deep breaths. Another one. And slowly release. First, pull the ankle to the glute. Extend that leg long, extend your left arm forward, drop the left foot to the floor, lift the left hip up, and then slowly left hand comes down. Finding your tabletop, inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. And then curl the toes, hips to heels. Press into your hands so much that your knees could lift. So lift them. Let your knees hover over the floor. Let your shins hover too. Drop your head through your arms. Squeeze your belly in. And then slowly push into your feet and lift your hips up. Feel the outer shoulders roll into the outer mat. Take your time here. Slow motion extension. Lifting your hips up high. Squeeze that belly in. Almost like you're pulling your belly up into the rib cage. And then keep a little bend in your knees. Start to reach your heels slowly towards the floor. Just pause in stillness here for a few breaths. Breathing into the rooted foundation, pressing away from your hands, relaxing your head and your neck, reaching your tailbone up high, high. Take another full breath. Sigh it out. And then we'll bend our knees, look at your hands, take one big step forward. Inhale, lift halfway up, hands on your shins. Exhale, fold forward. Slowly come to standing, pushing into your feet, rolling up. Roll the shoulders up, swoop your arms up, full breath. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Intention in your mind. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, and all the way up, little back bend. So squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward, lift up through your heart, and reach back. And then inhale, center, open your arms wide, fold forward as you exhale. Inhaling, lift halfway up. Extend that spine so long. Exhale, plant your hands, left leg back, right leg back. plank pose. Take a deep breath, hold it here as you exhale. Squeeze that belly in. Legs are tight, heels are reaching back. Take another breath. Exhale, drop your knees, chest and chin. So hips move back, elbows bend, belly and hips off the floor. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Keep your hands on the earth, cobra pose. Exhale right away, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Full breath in, and then open mouth, exhale. Now you can start to walk the dog. Just bend one knee, drop the opposite heel. Move your hips a little side to side as you're doing that, so you feel an outer hip and maybe a low back stretch here. Little sensations there. Good. Let's do a couple more. Stay strong in those widely spread fingers, rooting down, and then stillness. Heels reaching down, hips flying high. Thigh bones are pushing to the back of the room. Deep breath. Open mouth, exhale. Bend your knees, look at your hands. Take a big step with the opposite foot that led you there before. Inhale there, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, swoop your arms up to the ceiling. Feel those hands, pull your torso all the way up, and then flip your palms to the sun, reach those arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart center, intention in your mind, full breath. Release your hands, inhale them all the way up again, little back bend. Exhale, fold forward. We're just working through our sun salutations. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, leading with the opposite leg. I'm gonna walk you through chaturanga here, okay? So strong in your plank, like a piece of wood. Shift forward, so kick out of your feet, push yourself forward. Inner creases of the elbows rotate forward. So bend the elbows and take your time and lower for 4, 3, 2, 1. To the belly, untuck your toes. Hands, again, track back, very similar to our cow pose. Roll the shoulders back, elbows in, lift the heart. Exhale, lower maybe about halfway. Keep those elbows squeezing in. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath. Sigh it out. Couple more. And then last one. Stick your tongue out. Bend your knees, look forward. Let's practice hopping, okay? It's like your legs are springs and you're springing your hips up to the ceiling and then land your feet back down. Do it a couple times, right? Push your hips up. Really focus on your hips lifting. Don't worry about what the legs or your feet are doing. Just spring up. And then once your hips are high, then pull your feet in towards your hands. Once you're there, lift halfway up, full breath. Exhale, fold forward. Swoop those arms up, fingers to the sun. That pulls your torso up. Reach your arms up, hands to your heart as you exhale. Deep breath. Release your hands. One more time. Inhale, out and up, back bend. Exhale, open wide, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Find your plank pose, shift forward, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breaths, 3 here. Relax your head, relax your face. Steady the breath. Another one. And then bending your knees, gaze at your hands, step forward. Inhale there, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to standing all the way up. Arms up, hands to your heart. Exhale, deep breath. Release your hands. Stillness here in your mountain pose for a few breaths. Maybe breathing in the nose, out the mouth, or in and out of the mouth. In and out of the nose. Breathing in and out of the nose gives us this opportunity to filter the air that's circulating through the lungs, making it the most freshest air that can possibly reach inside. Sometimes it's hard to breathe in and out of the nose, especially when our heartbeat is beating fast. But try. All you can do is try, and if it doesn't work, then your mouth will open. It's fine. Take another big breath. This time, open mouth, exhale. Good. Now, let's cross our legs here. So we're gonna cross, bringing let's do the right foot behind the left, okay? So right foot goes behind the left, and then try to get your toes almost in one line. And what's tricky about this is that the right knee may hyperextend. It may like lock out. So then just scoot those right toes back, just past those left toes a little bit. The outer edges of your feet are almost touching, right? Squeeze them even. And then but keep a little bend in that knee. So you're keeping your right thigh really active, left thigh active. So again, always stabilizing the joint, okay? Now from here, inhale, arms up. As you exhale, open your arms out wide, bend into your knees a little bit, hips move back, weight is in your heels, and then fold forward. Let your head be really heavy here. Deep breath, lift your heart a little, almost like a half fold. Exhale, fold a little bit more. Now walk your hands to the outer left, or the outer left edge of the mat. So walk it to the outer, the left edge of the mat. I can't get it up. So you're feeling that nice stretch to the outer right hip here. Feel the right hip even move a little bit over to the right. Take another big breath. And then squeeze the belly in as you exhale. Another one. And then walk back here. Slowly, hands come to your hips, engage your belly. Slowly lift all the way up. Now we can release that right foot, bring it back to the left. Hands down, mountain pose, one deep breath. And then hands to our hips again. Now scoop that left leg behind the right. Bend into the knees a little bit, so just adjust your toes, right, the angle of your feet as you need to protect your joints, the most important thing. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, open wide, and then fold forward. So bend the knees a little bit, hips move back. Notice how that turns on the stretch, and then lower. Yeah, this feels good. Squeeze that belly and relax your head really heavy. And then just breathe, space and expansion into the tightness. Find ease among your effort. In Sanskrit, the ancient language of yoga, as they say, is Sukham Asanam. So finding ease among the effort. Sukham Asanam. Sthira Sukham Asanam. That's what it is. Sthira. Ease. Sukham among the effort. Asana in the pose. One more breath. And then hands to our hips, elbows flying high, squeeze those shoulder blades, shoulders up, inhale, lift. Scoop your arms up, hands to your heart, release the feet, full breath, mountain pose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, arms up, exhale, fold forward, all the way down. Inhaling, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, left leg goes back, drop the knee, low lunge. Keep your toes curled though. Hands on your thigh, push, really root into that left foot, push into that left knee, turn on the stretch of the thigh. Inhale, arms up. Full breath. Exhale, scoop your right arm down, reach it behind you, left arm reaches forward. Inhale into this long spine in your twist. Exhale, reach back. Another full breath. And then release your right hand to your hip. Inhale, left arm up, push your hips forward slightly, keep pushing out of those left toes, reach back. One big breath. Reach back as you exhale, and then inhale, come up. Left hand comes to the floor. Right arm goes right up to the sun, pressing against an imaginary wall with that right hand. Full breaths, long spine. Another one. Steady breath. Right hand comes down now as you exhale on the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the edge of the mat. Lizard pose. So really stretching deeply into the front of the left hip, really deeply into the back of this right hip. Full breath, lift your heart up, pulling your upper back out of the hips. Exhale, let your heart and your chin lead the way. Maybe your hands come forward here. This will help you, right? And then the elbows can bend. So that as the elbows bend, your shoulders are still rolling back. Another big breath. And then the last one here. Walk your hands back in. Bring your left hand to the left edge of the mat, maybe on the mat or just off the mat. And then your right hand is on this knee. Push your knee out to the side here. Feel your left hip sink a little lower. And then if you can, start to bend your left knee. So your left ankle or your toes can even point up. Now, press out of your left hand, reach your right arm up, and start to twist back, reaching for the top of the foot. Press out of this left hand again, extend your spine, your heart out of the hips. Gently pull, bending your right elbow, pull on those toes. Woo! Breathe into it, my friend. Deep breaths. Maybe gazing back, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the muscles of the face. Steady breath. And then release. Beautiful. Right arm comes back. Inside of that right leg. Curl or move back. Move your hips back. There we go. I got it. Sorry, I got a little cramp. Now your hips move back. Right leg goes straight. Both hands are on the inner edge of your right leg. So your right ankle is out a little. Take a breath. Tailbone reaches back. Your heart pulls forward. Exhale. Your hands can walk forward again like that lizard pose, melting your heart. Notice if your tailbone's totally tucking underneath you. So charge it back, reach that tailbone back, turn on the stretch of that hammy, lower even further down. See how low you can get here. If you can get your right forearm down here, actually keep that forearm down and extend your left arm up. If it's just your right hand, do that, right? But maybe try to lower and see if you can get that forearm down. Deep breath. Squeeze your belly as you exhale, twisting. You can even push your right arm into that inner leg, helping you to rotate. Good, and then flip your left palm behind you. Bring the back of your left hand to the outer right hip. And then there's an option for a bind. You can even swoop your right arm underneath this right leg and reach for that left hand on the outer right hip. If you have the hands, start to pull and clasp. Full breath. Couple more, stay strong and active. These are all optional. You don't have to bind. You can just work on that half bind or keep your left arm up. And then if you have that arm behind you, lift the left arm. Let's come out of it, pushing into your hands, rebending your right knee, walking forward. All right, now right hand comes on the outer edge of that leg. Walk your right foot towards the left outer edge of the mat, and then move this foot in towards your left knee a little, okay? So move your weight back. Walk that right foot to the left edge of the mat, and then your right knee is bending, dropping your right knee to the right edge of the mat. Now we're in a pigeon pose legs. So find your hands and then curl your left toes, lift the knee and move the knee back. So you're increasing the distance between the knees, right? Curling the left toes, lift the knee, move back. And then untuck the toes. Activate that thigh, pushing to the top of your left foot. Feel your left hip drop here. Take a deep breath, lift the heart up. And then exhale, let your heart lead the way, melting down. Take your time. Full, mindful, intentional breaths. Now you can bring in any sort of prop, maybe to rest your forehead here. We're going to take some time here. So support yourself however you need to. And use your breath to guide you. You don't have to just like find the pose and hang out there. You can be here and take 5 breaths to then get here. Right? Just listen to your body, move intentionally. Every day is different. The hikes we do are different, right? They ask for us to use different muscles and demand different uses of our legs and our hips and all of that. Sense of balance. So just try to relax here. Relax deeply inside of that right hip. Relax the muscles around the bones, almost like in a way the muscles could be melting over the bones. Finding your ease among the effort of being in this posture. All right. Slowly coming back up onto the hands. Remove any props you have there. Plant those widely spread fingers down. Curl your left toes. Maybe move the knee in a little bit so you find some space to lift your hips. Plant those hands down. Push into that left foot. Lift and fly your right leg all the way open. Root the left heel to the floor. Lift that right kneecap higher and then open it out to the side and do big circles. Bringing your right knee down to the left, opening it back up and out, circling it down. A few more breaths. Go in the opposite direction whenever that feels good for you. Let your head be heavy, really press into your hands. And then extend that right leg really long. Slowly drop your hip to be parallel to the floor. Your right toes are pointing towards the earth. Take another breath. Lift the leg higher. And then drop that leg to the floor, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in. And then sigh it out. Another big breath. Open mouth, exhale. Let's drop to the knees, find a child's pose. Big toes touch, rest your hips to your heels, rest your forehead and your forearms down. Just breathe in to the hips and pause and notice and observe the difference on the sides of your body. Notice how the right leg's feeling right now versus the left leg. And name it, right? Name the sensations. Name heat, space, right? Tightness, whatever. Few more breaths and just try to relax as much as you can. And then we'll lift up, find your table, and then we'll find our downward facing dog. Reaching those hips up high, walk it out, shake the tail, whatever, wag it out. All right, now full breath in, sigh it out. Bend your knees, look at your hands, step or hop forward, all the way. Inhale, lift halfway up, extend the legs, extend the spine. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, right leg goes back. Toes land, knee drops, keep your toes curled, nice and deep curl. Left hand to your thigh, right hand to your thigh, and then we come all the way up, lifting your arms all the way up. Pressing out of the foundation, full breath here. As you exhale, left arm swoops down, reaching that left arm back, right arm forward. Full breath, long spine. Exhale, keep twisting. Another big breath. And then left hand to the left low back, reach the right arm up. Big inhale from the right knee up, and then lean back as you exhale. Another full breath. Reaching back, and then inhale, come up. Right hand drops right to the floor. Left arm extends up to the ceiling. Full round of breath, roll the shoulders back. Push this left hand into an imaginary wall to really open and lengthen the heart forward and long. With the next exhale, left hand comes down on the inside of this left foot. Walk that left foot out to the side of the mat. And then we'll find our our lizard pose. Full breath. Sinking your hips forward here. Beautiful. Now we're going to bend that right knee, right hand's on the outer edge of the mat, and then left hand to your outer left thigh. Pressing that knee open. When you're ready, our left arm can come up and reach back, maybe pointing your left toes, reach for that foot. Press out of your right hand, really open up your heart and extend out through the crown of the head. So your spine is continuously long out of the hips. Pulling on this left foot gently, right foot. Gently squeezing it in, full breath. Finding some sort of ease with the exhale, another couple. And then last one. And slowly release it, bring your left hand on the inside of that left foot. Take another full breath here in our lizard. Maybe walking your hands forward a little bit. Let's take a couple more. Last one. And then pressing into your hands, moving your hips back here, lengthening your left leg long. Now feel the tailbone reach back behind you. Heart center pulls forward, left leg is active. Exhale, we let the heart and the chin lead the way, maybe walking our arms forward again. Pulling that heart center forward so we flatten the upper back. Exhale, we lower, using our breath. And then maybe lowering so much that the forearms could almost meet the floor here, right? And if that left forearm's on the floor, maybe extend the right arm all the way up. But just listen to the body. It can also be your left hand's down and the elbows just slightly bending. And then if the elbow is slightly bending, you can still push it on the inner edge of that leg, pressing the arm into the inner edge of the leg, helping you to lift the spine taller, reaching higher through the left or right fingers. Good, and then you can do a half bind, reaching your right palm behind you, bringing the back of your right hand to the left outer hip, pausing here, just working on the length, or swooping your left arm underneath your left leg and reaching up to grab your right hand. Then if you grab it, you pull that clasp, you lengthen your heart, deep breath. Squeeze the belly in. Another 2. One more. And then release your hands if you have it. Right arm comes all the way up, right hand comes down. Push into your hands, rebend that left knee. Woo. Deep round of breath. All right, now you can move the hips back just slightly. Bring your left hand on the outer left foot. Heel toe your left foot to the right edge of the mat. And then we can move this foot in a little bit towards your right knee. And then drop your left knee out to the left edge of the mat. Find your hands. Then we can curl the right toes, lift the knee, and move it back to drop your hips. Move it back even more. Now we feel your right hip. This right hip drop down so that we, rather than land on this left hip, right, and our right hip is totally up, we drop this right hip down. We lift this left hip up. Take a deep breath, lengthening your heart out of the hips. Exhale, folding into it. Taking your time. Using any kind of props here to support your practice. Letting your head start to be heavier. And then thinking about that intention. Always letting it guide. Softening your jaw and the eyes. Last deep breath in and out. How relaxed can you get? And then slowly come back up onto your hands. Find your widely spread fingers, curl those right toes and lift the knee, maybe scoot it in a little bit. Find your foundation, push, lift this left leg, keep the knee bent, open up this left hip to lift on top of the right, drop your right heel to the floor, reach your left kneecap up higher, and then open that knee out to the side, and then bring it down to the right knee. Swoop it back up and open it out and back down and in. Couple more. Whenever it feels good, reverse your rotation, going the opposite direction. Good, and then straighten that leg. Slowly drop that hip parallel towards the earth. Reach it, lift that leg a little higher. Another breath, and then downward facing dog. Full inhale. Sigh it out. Another one. Let it go. Beautiful. Now, bring your toes together. Now you're going to cross your right foot over the left foot. Walk your feet then to the outer edges of the mat. So your right leg is in front. Your legs are crossed. Your right foot goes to the left side of the mat. Your left foot goes to the right side of the mat. We can bend our knees now and then drop your knees down. Untuck your toes. Point your toes away from you. Press into your hands to push your hips down. Now scoot those ankles out of the way so both hips are rooted. And then right hand on your thigh, left hand on your left thigh, and push your knees to stack. So you may lift your hips, squeeze those legs closer, and then press your hands onto those inner arches. So you'll find yourself kind of like this. Good. So then press, lengthen the spine, reach the arms up, full breath. As you exhale, maybe fold, lean into it. Once you feel that stretch, let your hands come down. Let them catch you, and then lengthen the spine. Exhale, walking forward, and as much as you're walking and reaching forward, root those hips down. Squeeze the belly in, get the belly out of the way, and then relax your head. Feeling this nice stretch in the outer hips here. Maybe the outer right hip more than the left or vice versa. So just bring all of your awareness deep inside those hips and exhale, find ease and release. Inhale, there's space and expansion as the oxygen comes into the muscles, opening, bringing fresh blood in. Exhale and we ease into it. Let your head start to be heavier. And then we'll step our hands back towards the body. Actually, let me take that back. Let's come forward. So push into your hands, come forward, hands land down, curl your toes again, lift those knees up, and then walk your toes together, uncross the legs. Open up your feet as wide as the mat and walk your hands to your feet. Step the toes out, or point the toes out and drop your hips. Come into a low squat. So we're just, rather than twisting, creating a nice bit of space in the hips. Palms touching, heart lifting, take a breath. Engage that belly. Just two more here. Last one. Hands down, hips up. Walk back, find your down dog. And walk your toes together. Now bring your left foot in front of the right. Walk your feet to the opposite sides of the mat. Crossing those thighs high as you can. And then squeeze them. Bend the knees. Drop to your knees. Come back. Point your toes away from you. Drop the hips low. Whew. Left hand on your left thigh. Right hand on the right. Squeezing those knees together. Inchworming your feet. And then rooting both hips down. So maybe that right foot's kind of in the way of the left hip dropping, so get it out of the way. Press into your hands with the heart. Squeeze the belly in. Your arms can come up or not. And then maybe you just walk your hands forward or arms up and you lower down. Taking your time. Woo! Feeling this in the outer left hip. Deep breath. Squeeze into the belly as you exhale. So you're always pushing your core against the back, so you're finding length. Softening the face and the jaw. Maybe the eyes close and you just repeat your intention in your mind, like your favorite song playing. Soften the jaw. Relax the tongue away from your teeth. Couple more. Start to maybe let the head be heavier. And then come back up. All right, now I take it back. Walk forward again. Find your downward facing dog. Curl those toes. Walk your feet back together. Then uncross them. Now this time, just find a wide-legged down dog. So your feet are as wide as the mat. Move your hips right and left so you feel a stretch, nice stretch in your inner thighs here. Outer hips also can be feeling stuff when you go back. Hamstrings. Deep breath in. And then sigh it out. Bend your knees. Look at your hands and see if you can hop your feet, hopping to the outer edges of your hands. Good, like a little frog. And then elbows are on your knees, palms meeting, we'll squat again. Deep breath. Another one. And then reach your arms forward, lower your hips down. Whoop. Now find your boat pose. Calves come parallel to the floor. Lift your heart center up. Arms are reaching here. Nice deep breath. Engaging the belly with your exhales. Let's start to straighten your legs at the same time as you're leaning back. Point your toes away from you. Reach them. Keep your thighs active. Knees are straight. Leaning back just a little bit. Pausing. Take a breath. Pull the shoulders back. Squeeze the belly in. Another two. Softening the face. Last one. And then slowly lower everything down the same time onto the mat. And then bring your knees in. Well, step your feet onto the floor, bending your knees. Feet on the floor next to your feet, or hands on the floor next to your feet. And then push into your feet to lift your hips. Coming into your bridge pose, tuck your shoulders underneath you one at a time. So you feel your hips really lifting high here. tuck those shoulders and then interlace your hands under your low back, pressing your outer edges, the pinky edges of your hands into the earth and the arms like a lever. Squeeze your glutes, lift your hips higher, full breaths. Breathe so much into the whole front body. Couple more. Release your hands, lift your heels, and then roll one vertebrae down at a time. Then bring your knees into your chest, squeeze them in. Do it a couple times so you feel your tailbone lifting, kind of rocking it in, rocking it out, in and out, in and out. All right, now legs go straight up. Arms are by your side. Let's come into plow pose. So you're gonna move your feet behind your head, glue your hands onto your lower back and help yourself to push back, right? Glue those hands and then push back. Tuck your shoulders underneath you if you can, one at a time. And then squeeze the belly in. Reach your heels back here. Push those heels back. Another couple breaths. See if you can tuck those shoulders underneath you at all, any bit more. And then lift your right leg up, point your toes. Reach up like that leg is being pulled to the ceiling and see if then it will naturally lift your left. And then lift those left toes up. Coming into shoulder stand, hands are on your lower back to support you. Deep breath, squeeze every single muscle on your legs, lifting higher against gravity. Couple more breaths. Another one. And then drop one foot behind you, drop the next foot behind you, slowly release your hands, roll down, take your time, squeeze your core to control the movement. And then once your hips drop, keep your legs glued, pointing heels up to the ceiling, take a breath. Exhale, lower your legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both heels and legs drop onto the floor. And then from here, tuck your palms underneath your glutes. Palms are facing the floor. So roll your arms, your hands underneath your glutes. Palms facing the floor, fingers wide. Now, bend your elbows, lift your chest up here. Tuck your elbows underneath you. Lift up through your heart and drop your head back for fish pose. Really opening up into your throat. Very lightweight on your head here. Feeling your heart center lifting, pressing out of your elbows. Couple more breaths. If it feels available, maybe lift one leg, maybe lift the other leg. Another breath. Lower the legs, untuck your head, drop the upper back down, and then release the arms out from underneath you. Woo! Bring your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Move your head side to side. Deep, nourishing inhales and exhales. Maybe a half straddle. Hands on your inner knees, rocking left to right, side to side. Maybe even up and down a couple of times. Feels nice. Good. And then we're going to land in a twist. So on your back, we're going to keep both knees together. Just lift your hips and move them over to the left an inch. And then drop both knees stacked with your knees really close to your chest over to your right. And then lift the left arm up and open it out to the left side. Look over there. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale and relax in your twist. We'll be here for about a minute. So enjoy it. Just use your breath. And then relax with every exhale, softening the muscles of the neck and the jaw and your tongue and the eyes. Notice where your mind is drifting to and just practice. It's a redirection of your thought, right? Creating awareness of yourself and where your mind, your powerful mind is going. Let's take one more final deep breath here on this side. Exhale it out. And then bring your knees back into your chest, rolling on your back. Lift your hips up, shimmy your hips over to the right, and then drop your knees together over to the left. Lift your right arm up and then drop it open out to the right side. Look over there. Relax your feet and ankles. Relax your knees and your hips and your lower back. Take a deep breath into the right rib cage. Exhale and relax. Now we just breathe and we soften the body in this rotation. Feeling the body settling down. Noticing where you're going in your thoughts. Maybe you're right here, and that is fantastic. Practicing it over and over will only make it easier as you revisit it. Feel your body settle even more these last few exhales. So as you feel like you're relaxed, just relax some more. And then one final full breath. Exhale it out. And then roll onto your back. Drop your feet to the floor, reposition so you feel straight on the mat, and then both knees back into your chest. Squeeze it in. Wrap your arms around your shins, bring your nose up to your knees, round like a little ball. Take a full breath here. And then exhale for your final resting pose. Now, actually, I'm going to suggest for you to throw your legs up a wall, right? Especially after a long hiking, right? You've been hiking a lot lately, I've been seeing it. So throw those legs up a wall or up the edge of your bed or a chair, and so that we can drain all of that stuff from the feet and legs out of it, right? We're reversing gravity. Try to, maybe your feet come together or they separate, but try to just relax the legs. Trust that the knees and things will just kind of hang out there. Relax your feet. This is the most restorative posture. It does such wonders for our body. Really helps you to release any kind of stiffness, tightness in the lower back. Helping us to stimulate our organs as blood is rushing down, technically up the legs. Stimulating prana, flow, energy, flow, life force through our body. So as you're here, just allow your eyes to close. And then with an open mouth, let's exhale the air out of the body. So get empty. Push it out. Get so empty. Hold the emptiness. Inhale through the nose. Fill all the way up to the top. Hold it there. Sip it up. Hold it. Relax your shoulders. Sip up more. And an open mouth exhale. Sink against the back half of your body. Rest effortlessly and easily here. Nowhere else to go, nothing else to do but to relax after a beautiful practice. So I'll leave you here, enjoying this time of rest. All you have to do is relax more with every exhale. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Start to wriggle the fingers and start to wriggle the toes. And rock your head a little side to side. And then you can bend the knees, bring them into the chest. Reach your right arm up above the head and roll over to your side, using that arm as a pillow. Just hang out for a sec here, deep breath. And then use your hands and your sense of touch to press you up to a seat, feeling your way to a cross-legged seated position. With your eyes open, no worries, close them when you get there. Roll the shoulders back, lift your spine tall, chin parallel to the floor. Take a nice deep breath in from your tailbone all the way up to the tip of the head. With an open mouth, exhale it out. Noticing the beautiful effects of your practice. Letting the corners of your mouth lift to your ears, giving yourself a big smile, and breathing in that smile. That sense of pride and gratitude for self, for doing such wonderful things for your body, your mind, your breath. Practice only you can do for yourself, so it's such a beautiful gift of time. The true self-nourishment. Let's bring our palms in front of our heart, pressing gently together there. And then begin to rub your palms to generate heat and energy and go faster and faster. Once you feel the heat, bring your warm palms to cup over your closed eyes, observing darkness or color beneath the layer of your eyelids, feeling that heat and energy, and then absorb it with a deep breath in. Release your hands down the face, resting your palms in front of your heart again. Believe in yourself and do what you are supposed to. Appreciate yourself, enjoy yourself, and love yourself. From my heart to yours, my friend, namaste.